Okay, so collectivism versus individualism. We're not going to go into the theoretical aspect of it, but mainly focus on the applications as well as on how we as a business person can take advantage of it and use this to our power. So first of all, we should give ourselves a brief introduction of what actually each of these things mean. So collectivism is basically setting a policy for the benefit of a group, sorry. And individualism is freedom of your own individual needs and expressions. So basically focusing on oneself. On paper, it might seem that collectivism is way better than individualism, right? That you look only for the good of the masses, only for the group, the whole group, right? But then you try to understand, then you try to unpack all these book words, and then you actually look into the society, how they actually translate, like similar to democracy. So you would need to see how these things pan out. So when you talk about collectivism, how I see it is a bunch of people are put together by some policymaker that tries to look good for the masses as whole. So what happens is in these cases is not only people in that living in that social collectivism is given a fabricated idea of how society is operated, right? Additionally, this type of social reform allows the few people to take control of everything. Let me give you an example. Do you remember the name of Apple? Do you remember a name of Vanguard or BlackRock? Give any big name of an MNC. So what there is going on is basically a group of people are put together, and in a way they are being run by few people. And in this case, for example, BlackRock or Vanguard, basically what's going on is they are putting people together. Oh, we're gonna put this new policy, and it's good for the masses. And what happens in this case is ultimately it allows or it gives power to only few people, and the mass as a whole is left for begging. So you as a person would be begging for the person in charge of that collectivism on, oh, we need this policy for our safety, oh, we need this or we need that. That's also really beautiful in collectivism. They wouldn't give you things or enforce things on you. You would ask for it. For example, oh, can we have more surveillance? There's crime rate going up. When they can actually go in and actually kill crime, but no. So when you try to unpack all these things, you'll understand that, okay, so collectivism is nothing but a lie that is being propagated by people that, oh, if you are together, you'll have a better society. Yeah, being together is great because that's what we are, human. But you would need to think of it this way. It's not because of your good, you sitting at home watching YouTube or watching Netflix. It's not good for you at all. So what they're doing is they are just putting you all together so that it's easier for them to put on different policies, just throw another policy. So it's easier for them to manage. That's the thing they hate about individualism. Individualism allows person to do what they want, say what they want, and be self-reliant. They don't depend on government, they don't depend on any MNC, they depend on themselves. And that's what people don't want. Companies want you to be dependent on their phones. Companies want you to be dependent on their different products and services. First, how are they gonna make money if you are not dependent on them? How are they gonna retain your attention? Because in 21st century, that's money. Attention is money. How are they gonna retain your attention if you are the person that is individualistic? You are self-reliant. You're relying on your knowledge, on yourself. How are they gonna do that? Additionally, most important aspect, how in the world are they gonna enforce policies on all these individualistic ideas? That's the beauty of it. When there's an individualistic idea that comes along and pops up, most of the time they would try to suppress it. You know why? Because they don't want another idea to come along and mess up their control power. They already have a ecosystem. They don't want that ecosystem to be imbalanced by a one, let's say, impurity, quote unquote. So that's the beauty of individualism. Individualism breaks collectivism, right? But collectivism as a whole isn't a bad idea. It's a great idea. It's the way society is set up, because most of the time the policies or these social norms that translate from book to actual practical life, they don't actually add up properly. So then you try to understand, okay, so individualism is the benefit of oneself, and collectivism, is a benefit for the whole. So then you'll try to understand, okay, so that's how they are using collectivism for their benefits. They are running trillions of dollars. They are running your houses, gases, everything. And you are giving away your life. For what? Nothing at all. So how you would need to shift this topic is basically, think of it this way. You are individualistic, let's say. You are self-reliant. You know how to do everything and anything. What you would need to do is, you would need to form your own collectivism. What does that mean? All these brands, in a sense, is a collectivism. They make a group come together and they enforce things. Not necessarily enforce, try to sell things to that group. Once you truly become individualistic, you would need to then find a way to formulate your own collectivism. So you would need to have a group that align with your brand identity. Let's say your brand is about design. So then you have an individualistic idea of design. Then you would need to have a group that aligns, or you make them align with your thinking and your individualistic idea. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a culture, in a sense, and you would be, quote unquote, in charge of that culture, and ultimately you would make money out of it. And that's how the society are built. That's how brands are being built. Brands are actually nothing but an individualistic idea turned into a collectivism. Think of it this way. When a brand is set up, the most important aspect for them is to have a unique brand identity, and additionally, they have to have a brand culture. So when you think of it in a broader sense, you would understand that, okay, collectivism, that's how I'm being controlled by collectivism, but I need to be individualistic enough so that I can separate from that collectivism, and then individualistic and strong enough that from that collectivism I can make other people come along with me, make other people join my individualistic ideas. And ultimately that's gonna give you a attention, and also not just attention, but most importantly, it's gonna give you a culture that would be yours to be controlled. And there's nothing wrong in this idealistic, because if you think of it this way, Apple, right? Apple have their own ecosystem. That's what they did. They had the unique idea, they had the individualistic idea where they stood out from the competition, and then they built a culture, they built a collective audience, where now in that collectivism they are enforcing policies such as they are making iTunes paid, the iMusic, and then the iCloud, and all these things. They are there introducing their policies to these people, and these people are like, okay, you know what? I do need more space, so let me pay that. I do want to listen to this music, let me pay that. So that's what they're doing. When you think of how they're running Apple to how they're running society, you'll understand it broadly, like, okay, so that's why they are introducing all these policies, because they want to make more money, or they want to do some they want to run their business successfully. Technically, the global affairs is nothing but a business. So they want to have an efficient business, and you would only have efficient business if all of your employees, or all of the people that are in your business, have good cooperation. If you have an individualistic idea in that business, you wouldn't follow the rules, and that's not good for the business. And that's what you need to understand. And once you understand that, you would need to apply that to your business model, to your business idea, and then ultimately the ground would be yours. All right, I hope you have a amazing day, and on the next one, I'm gonna talk about knowledge and ignorance, because I did make a video before that, but that video needs way more detailed explanation than just a 10-15 minute video. I think I'm probably gonna make it like half an hour or so. All right, I hope you have a good day and keep growing.